Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new Locals feature match. We are in round 2 from my Locals that took place on August 27th. So just a couple days ago from when this is going up. As I'm recording this, it is the 1st, September 1st, and it was one of the first days in a long while where it was, nice and cool outside. I'm personally a fan of the cooler weather, as my name might suggest, being winter and everything. I do enjoy the cooler months and days and seasons, and it was really, really nice. So had a very enjoyable day today. Hope you guys did as well, or hope you guys do have an enjoyable day. And we got a pretty interesting feature match here. So this is actually the first time that we're having Exosister on the channel. Yeah, first time for everything, right? First time Exosister's been on the channel. Xyz-based tactic, and I don't think I have read a single Exosister card. It's been a very long time if I've ever read one, and if I did read one, I have forgotten what it does since that point. But I know what these punk cards do, so we're going to see the Wagon. Go ahead and pay 6, search the field spell, normal summon Zeoman. Pay 6, search the Ogre Dance, field spell, draw a card since he did pay 600 life points to activate a Psychic Monster's effect. Now we're going to see him go ahead and use the Ogre Dance to go ahead and search a copy of Deer Note. And looks like he drew into Nibiru off of that field spell. He also has Cyframe Driver, everybody's favorite, in hand. He also has a copy of Ghost Ogre, and it looks like a copy of Foxy Tune in the hand as well. So it looks like he's going to go ahead and attempt to use the Foxy Tune right now. Maybe trying to go ahead and bait out an Ash Blossom here, if at all possible. It will resolve, though, here. And we're going to see him go ahead and special summon out Madam Spider. It's really cool to actually be able to, say all these punk names, because I'm so used to, at least a couple months ago, right? Like, when people were just splashing this stuff as an engine before it became like a full deck and everything with the field spell and new synchro. Like, okay, Deer Note, Zeoman, Foxy Tune. But now you got all of these other cards. Like, I don't even know what the name of that trap card is, but I know it's a pop. Because it's not the Dangerous Gabu, it's the other trap. But he's going to pay 6 to search that trap, draw off the field spell, and then we'll see my man Johnny follow that up by activating the field spell's other effect to go ahead and banish a punk from the grave to go ahead and then summon one from the hand. So we're going to see him bring out the Deer Note that way. A little bit more like resource efficient instead of having to like reveal it in hand and discard another. Right, field spell definitely fixing a lot of the problems the deck had. So now we're going to see him synchro into none other than the Pepega Ruler, aka Chaos Ruler. And we're going to go ahead and see him target the Ogre Dance with the Deer Note. We're going to actually see a DD Crow in response from Dan here, our Exosister player. And he's going to hit the Ogre Dance. A little bit of a questionable DD Crow there. I think there are probably better DD Crow targets against this deck specifically, like hitting the Chaos Ruler once it's engraved. But if you don't have much experience playing against a deck like Punk, right, you're really not going to know that's the call. It's like decently trading there with a Deer Note effect, but definitely could be, used at a better time, I think. Because, I mean, like, yes, here you could say, like, oh, he could just negate the Crow with the Baron, and it's like, well, that's fine because you're still dealing with the Baron. The Crow trades really, really well with the Baron, and like if he doesn't negate if he doesn't negate the Crow and the Chaos Ruler, then he just gets a Shinobi Necro, and a Baron that has a negate, but it doesn't have to deal with Chenying and Baron now. And I think we see a 6-card Ash from our Exosister player, but this is going to be kind of a tough field to get through, the double level 10 synchro. Also kind of playing into Super Poly here, interestingly enough, ending on the 2 waters, 1 machine, 1 psychic. So I don't know if there's any other like level 10 synchros the deck can even go into that's worthwhile that like plays around Super Poly, but just now noticing that does play into Super Poly. So we're going to see Exosister here lead with the Martha. Probably should pull up what these cards do, right? Control no monsters, roll an Xyz monster, special this card from your hand, and if you do special summon 1 Exosister Ellis from your deck, you cannot special summon after you activate this effect. The turn you activate this effect, except Exosister monsters. So he's going to go ahead and overlay into a copy of Mikalis. And it looks like on the summon of Mikalis, we're going to see our punk player here activate Halqifibrax. And in response, he's going to chain the Mikalis to target one card the opponent controls, or in the giver, and attempt to banish it. That's going to force the Baron to negate and destroy. Halq will resolve, summoning out Formula, which will net a nice little draw 1 for our punk player here. And our Exosister player is going to go ahead and set 2. Now, the Exosister deck does have some decent traps here, and it looks like he will proceed to the end phase, where we'll go ahead and see him activate the Gizmek Orochi engrave that was so conveniently milled off the Chaos Ruler. That'll trigger Chen Ying since cards were banished to go ahead and non-target banish one from the field engrave. He's going to go ahead and clear Ellis and a copy of the Returnia from grave. And then we're going to see him pass turn there. Our punk player is going to enter the standby phase, attempting to use Baron de Fleur's effect to target the Xiamen, especially when it back. And we're going to see him activate a Exosister Vadis in response, paying 800 life points to go ahead and essentially E-Telly out 2 Exosister monsters from the deck. Yeah, then take 1 Exosister monster from your deck that is mentioned on that monster and special them both, but shuffle them into the deck during the end phase. And then he basically gets locked into only summoning Exosisters after that. So the trap will resolve, summoning out a Martha and an Ellis. We're going to see him get back the Xiamen. So now on res, both Martha and Ellis, Martha being Chainlink 1, Ellis being Chainlink 2, they will see the card being moved out of the graveyard, so that will trigger both of their effects. We're going to see Ogre Chainlink 3 on the Ellis, because it has to respond to the last thing in the chain, and then the Punk Trap on the Martha to remove both of them, making it sure that they will not resolve, not allowing him to Ixie summon. And then we're going to see him continue on here, going into the Baron de Fleur, putting the Chen Ying in attack, and with all those banished cards, I believe this is going to be more than enough for a game. And yeah, that's going to be a rather swift end to game 1. A lot of damage on that Chen Ying, and we're going to head into game 2. Yeah, so nice and easy OTK there for Punk. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see too much of the Exosister deck in action there. Would have been kind of nice to see, because this is a deck I wouldn't mind seeing more of. Just to be able to learn what the cards do, because like I said, it's been a long time since I've read any of these cards and still don't know what half of them do. But game 2, shout out to Imperium Duelist, link below. And guys, don't forget to check out my affiliate link to TCG Player as well. So we're going to see Exosisters lead here with a copy of Pax. Pay 8, feel great. The meme continues on ever since as far back as I can remember, is Clifford Genius paying, or not Clifford Genius, Clifford Scout paying 800. Here we are in 2022, 8 years later, and we're still paying 8. To go ahead and add off the packs, and then we're gonna see him get Ellis on field, and I believe the other one is the Stella, I believe, and we're gonna see him go ahead and overlay both of those into Caspitel. And then we're going to see him use Caspitel's effect and add an Exosister monster from the deck to the hand. It's going to be Martha. We'll see Martha effect here to go ahead and bring out itself and a copy of Ellis. Trying to get a hang of what these cards do. So we're going to see him overlay both of those into a copy of the Michaelis. And I believe this deck has a rank 8 that they can kind of stack on top, you know, 2 rank 4s. Pretty decent. I know it's a Starlight as well, I believe, but looks like on the summon of that, we're going to see a copy of the Rock go ahead and get activated. And I don't know how good it is against the Exosister deck, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it's pretty good. You can't exceed with tokens, unfortunately, so we're going to see him set 2 again after the Rock. Very, very high impact card in this matchup, as we are seeing. And we'll see him pass turn there. We're going to see Punk lead with a copy of Ogre Dance to go ahead and search a Xiamen. And it looks like on resolution, we will see a Gozen match from our Exosister player. And that is going to be kind of rough. The Punk monsters themselves, like the normal summonable ones, are all Earth, so you can't put Xiamen on field. You can't put any other ones on field. We're going to see him just go battle phase, attack over the defense position Nibiru token. With the Nibiru, end phase, after our Punk player sets a couple cards, we're going to see him go ahead and activate a Cosmic. That hits a set imperm, so nice little trade there for 1,000 life points. We're going to see him draw a DD Crow for turn, pass. He does have Exosister Armament in hand. He's just going to go ahead and hold that, just setting the DD Crow to kind of block damage. We're going to see Punk now start their turn with a copy of Pot of Desires. Go ahead and banish 10 and draw 2. And we'll see if he can find anything worthwhile here to go ahead and out this Gozen match. I do see an impermanent hand, so that's kind of a slow out. We'll see him just go battle phase, attack the set, and then we're going to go see him go main phase 2, tribute set. Wonder what it could be. Most likely a Deer Note, and then we'll see him pass turn there, drawing a copy of Martha. We'll see him activate Martha, and we'll see if this is going to resolve. That will be negated by Ash, because you can Ash that card. Very, very high impact. Then we're going to see him set the armament after normal summoning the Martha, and see if he takes the gamble on attacking into a tribute set. I would imagine probably not worth the life points. But to be fair, if he attacks into it, he will flip it up as a result, you know, putting its attribute onto the field. So he will take the 200 there. It is a Deer Note. Who would have guessed, right? So now he is still locked into Earths, but it's not a terrible thing to be locked into Earths right now if you are Punk. Especially a couple things here, like he put a monster on field, so now he's playing into the imperm column, which is funny enough. So he's going to be able to get out of the Gozen lock while also having access to a favorable attribute on field, which is Earth, which allows him to get that Xiamen on field, which is pretty much all you want. It looks like on the summon the Xiamen, we're going to see the armament get chained, and that's going to basically allow him to go ahead and Xyz with an Exosister, I believe, that he controls. And I'm going to pull up the Exosister cards yet again. Some of the Xyz monsters look kind of the same, so I want to make sure I'm not getting the names right. But we're going to see him go for a copy of Gibrine. 2 level 4s cannot be destroyed by the activated effects of monsters. Specimen from the graveyard. So, kind of immune to graveyard summon monsters. Don't think that'll really matter too much here. Quick effect, you can target one effect monster you control and negates effects until the end of this turn. If this card you control was Ixie summoned this turn by using Exosister monsters material. So that could be a live negate, but after the Xiamen resolves, we're going to see an imperm on the rank 4 anyway, so it's not going to matter. And it's also in the imperm column. I know the imperm column gets forgot a lot on this channel. It seems like a lot in these feature matches. It happens, right? You gotta stay sharp on that. But this time we're actually seeing the imperm column matter here as we see him go ahead and special summon out a copy of Deer Note, while discarding a Gizmek Orochi engrave, which is kind of nice, getting access to the Chaos Rule, turning off the Gozen and all this good stuff. Looking really, really good here for Punk, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go for a game this turn. Deer Note's going to successfully bring back the Ogre Dance, and then we're going to see Chaos Ruler Mill 5, getting Veiler access, getting a Gamma. Obviously not going to take the Gamma, but, free Veiler is free Veiler, right? And now he's just got to go ahead and find a way to close out the game here. He does have another Pot of Desires set, so we'll see him go ahead and activate it. Banish 10, draw 2. Our Exosister player unfortunately has no other cards in hand right now, so and no interruptions, no known interruptions, so pretty much everything is going to go through unanswered here. We're going to see him switch that Deer Note to attack. This Jabrine has 2800 attack too, or 2800 defense, so got kind of a booty on it, so gonna have to work a little harder to get over that to try to go in for lethal. Gizmek Orochi is in graveyard, and well, there's an E-Tel, and I think this is probably going to be the way to game right now. And with 2 Pot of Desires resolved this turn, kind of a little surprised he still has a target left in deck, but we're going to see him go ahead and bring on another Xiamen and go ahead and go into the Yukio Amazing Punk Dragon. And this is going to basically allow him to bounce both the Gibrine and the Gozen match back to the hand. And as a 3K, I believe, 3,500 synchro with the caster coming back and the Gizmek, that's going to be more than game. So thanks for watching, guys. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members who are Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Justin Lamb, HGH Cyber, and Mango. Thank you guys so much as always for showing me kind and generous support of the channel.